Hello and welcome to Unplanned Trek's 50 Shades of Trek, where we're looking at the 50 sexiest episodes 1 week at a time. I am one of your hosts. I am Isaac, and I'm joined by Andrew.
Yes, hello, Andrew here from Unplanned Trek from Hogan Central. What are we doing today, Isaac?
We are doing Up the Long Ladder, which I think
Oh,
might be more like Up the Wrong Ladder. But we've got a similar cast, not within the show, but in our show, to help us with this one today. We've
hmm.
got from the Trekking Up North podcast, which it's lucky that he lives in Northern England, because if he lived where we did, the podcast that he works with would actually sound a little bit more adult. But from the Trekking Up North let's just start there. From the
You can
Trekking Up
fix it
North
in post.
podcast, we've got the Captain Goodwill. Hello, Captain. How are you?
I've got a martini.
Oh,
I
Oh,
need
you're
it for this episode.
perfect. That
Hello,
balances out
everybody.
my coffee that I've got. Yeah. And from who I describe as America's Isaac from the It's Got Touch podcast, we've got Patrick. How are you, Patrick?
Hi, I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
The reason I call you that is you seem to like all the things I like. We've got similar taste in music, similar taste
Yeah.
even in Star Trek itself, and similar humor. So I like having you on the pod. It's been a little while, so welcome back.
Thank you so much.
I was thinking about this today because I did plan that intro. Sorry, guys. But do you like Kurt Vonnegut? Because he's my favorite author. I just assumed he's yours as well.
He's not my favorite, but I do like Kurt Vonnegut. I do need to read more extensively in his library.
Who is your favorite author?
Um, that's always tricky because I go around a lot. My default ends up being Tolkien because I tend to read The Lord of the Rings and various other things every couple years, just as a thing to do.
Yeah.
But no, probably there's other names that would come up at any given time, but that's a good default.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Get a room, you two.
oh, this is literally a room. Well, we're about a minute away from pressing play. Just to let people know that haven't gone on this format before, we're going to do our medals at the end. But what we're on the lookout for is the best three characters, the worst three characters, any romance, any pets, any fighting, and anyone that dies. And as a bonus, we're looking for any food that might be in the episode. So that would be a lot of fun. So keep an eye out for that. If you're listening to this podcast or indeed watching it on YouTube, you can also press play at the same time as us to see exactly what we're talking about. So, yeah, we'll give a little countdown and start it shortly. Are we all queued up and ready to go, gentlemen?
If
Yep.
Yep.
for once I am, yeah.
Mine just turned off because I had it on standby for too long.
Well
But
done.
it's a season 2 episode, so we might even see Andrew Hogan's favorite character in this one.
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah.
If there's anything medical that happens, it should be there. All right, just queuing it now, guys. There won't be a moment. I'm the guy this week.
Yeah.
Clickety clickety click.
Here we go. Episode 18, season 2. If you guys are ready, I'll get you to press play as well. Up the Long Ladder.
All right.
I've been thinking about this episode. Does anyone have any idea why it's called Up the Long Ladder?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
All right. Enlighten us.
Okay, now look, I had to look this up, okay, because I thought it was a bit weird myself. The episode was originally gonna have it originally had a really dumb name. It was called Send in the Clones, which is
Oh,
utterly awful, which is really funny because it was written by Melinda Snodgrass, who wrote a lot of really good Star Trek. Up the Long Ladder is apparently just from an Irish anti-Protestant rhyme.
Mm.
So they decided that hang on, this isn't hella stereotypical enough. So we better just name it after the rhyme goes up the long ladder, down the short rope, to hell with King Billy, 3 cheers for the Pope.
Yeah.
wow. Let's not forget that The Next Generation was also the series that predicted the Irish reunification of
Yes, which is
2024.
coming up, presumably, right?
I think maybe that was trying to make up for this episode and its title. But I didn't. I mean, having said that, anybody who writes a poem that's called Three Cheers, that's got 3 cheers for the Pope in it, pretty good.
Well, thanks for looking that up, because I was always kind of curious about that. I thought it might be relate to like genetics or something like that. It's much less lofty than I
double
thought it
helix.
was. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking like you're climbing up the the clone ladder or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what? Now Okay, so we've got a bit of exposition going on.
Oh,
Fish tank.
yeah, that's why I went, ooh.
Patrick Stewart hated that fish tank, right? Didn't they get rid of it eventually? Yeah, I think he didn't like the idea of a fish being captured in a tank.
Domesticated.
Lexington.
Well, we do know that Captain Jellicoe got rid of it. I don't know if Card brought it back.
I think that was an excuse. They
But-
they put everything bad on Captain Jellicoe, so they got to the four rotation shift and got rid of the fish.
And the fish.
Get rid of Lexington.
But don't forget though that like at no point does Captain Picard ever express interest in having fish in his entire character arc.
Yeah.
It's always
I don't think
fun.
he even eats fish. That doesn't necessarily help. Do you reckon the reunification of Ireland is what starts the Bell riots? I know they're in different parts of the world, but one flows onto the other, right?
Or it
Oh,
could
the
just
Bell
be
riots are well underway.
the global milieu at the time
Yeah.
resulted, into all these different events.
The post-COVID political haze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID's not real.
We should follow Star Trek's history. Yay, don't follow it between the year 2000 and 2063 though, okay?
Yeah.
That's fine.
As long as
Yeah.
as long as we all go to Bozeman, Montana in 2060.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm
'Cause
down. Yeah.
I mean, I probably won't be around, but you guys knock yourself out.
I'm excited. Pulaski's just been called to the bridge.
I know.
Yep.
Oh, don't you think
Look at his smiling face. He's so happy.
Mate, I already watched this last night.
You were going to watch it last night, regardless.
Correct.
The season
So
2 1 and
original
2 intro.
Yeah.
It was great. I had Australia West Indies on one screen, and I had this episode on the other.
Well recommended. Now, Jack from Let's Talk About Treks, he ducks when the Enterprise goes over our heads at warp. Do you guys do anything similar with any of the introductions?
No.
When I was a kid, when it used to fly past, I would actually make the noise. So I'd be like, wow.
Yeah. I like doing that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so when
I like
when this was on television, I was a grown-up person, so no, I didn't do those things.
That doesn't preclude that you do it, right?
I recreated. This is just unlocks a memory, but I recreated the intro with a Playmates Enterprise D, and I ended up nearly giving myself a concussion because I hit my head as it zoomed past. So I didn't, because obviously I wear glasses. I've got no depth perception. I was like, yeah, I'll do this, and I just went straight into my head and nearly knocked myself out with an Enterprise.
It's awesome.
I'm hearing you shoot duck when the credits are going. That's what I'm hearing.
Can you imagine getting a scar from that though? People go, "What's that scar from?" Oh, it's from the Enterprise D.
Yeah, well, it's got a sharp edge.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, good way of meeting people too, because you'll get someone that goes, "Me too," and they'll say,
I've actually got an Enterprise A that's a pizza cutter, so it literally has a sharp edge.
Yes,
Mm.
we gave that away as a prize on the charity stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is so fun.
Ah.
Hello.
There's the good Dr. Pulaski.
Special appearance by. Did you notice that? Special appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Oh, Barry.
wasn't she always special appearance by during season 2? There was something weird about how
Yeah,
they presented her.
No, she
Yeah.
was.
Maybe they weren't entirely sure what was going down.
It's really weird because this week we're reviewing By Any Other Name from the original series with Dana Muldarin as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's great.
Oh,
in
that's
that
a
one.
fantastic episode.
Yeah.
Anyone with her in the original series. Stop
Yeah.
whinging, Worf. No one cares.
Doctor, an empty barrel fell on me.
Oh,
Yeah, those barrels.
again, Bucker?
Yeah. Have you tried just rolling them?
Yeah. Life pro tip: don't stand under barrels. I mean, what are you, bloody Mario in Donkey Kong?
Lift with your
Don't have
knees,
unsecured
Worf.
barrels on a ship.
Can you imagine? They should bring out a port of Donkey Kong where it's actually Worf running along the girders.
Oh, that's such a good idea. I almost can't imagine it hasn't been done.
Donkey
but you
Wolf.
wouldn't.
It's like
you wouldn't
Rule
get past the first
34,
level.
except with Worf. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong would go, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this motherfucking Vulcan thing, dude.
If you listen carefully, you can hear Nintendo's lawyers coming for you.
No, it wouldn't be the first time.
I can't
got-
actually remember the story.
Don't you?
Like, is this why we have to meet the Irish people? Is to get some Klingon? No, sorry, Irish stew into, or some Guinness into.
Guinness, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they just said involving fasting.
Yeah.
So that rules out a lot of our Neelix medal for Worf, at least.
Mm.
Are
Hang
you
on,
doing
I've
okay?
It's funny when Worf is sheepish. It's just, he's been
Needs to clean
scolded.
his teeth.
Come. I'm looking at this translucent thing.
I'm fine, Data. How are you? Oh,
His eyes look particularly green today.
the chaos of the 22nd century, was that just purely because people were singing Faith of the Heart all the time, or?
Oh. No, that was their happy place that they went to.
The USS Russell Watson. Ah, I remember it
Yep.
well.
Yes. Shit.
What's the name of the sector?
I didn't catch it.
Oh,
was this-
Ficus.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
ficus. Like, is it like the
Yeah.
plant, the ficus plant sector?
I thought he said fight us.
The ficus. Well, you don't want to go to the ficus sector.
Well, that's very
You wanna
Irish,
steer,
isn't
you
it?
wanna steer
Oh,
clear.
we're not playing to that stereotype.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
It's handy having Data on there to give us a bit of exposition. Like, he's just working out what a spinning wheel is. To really plant the seed there that we're probably going to see a spinning wheel later in the episode.
Mm.
Chekhov's
Also-
spinning wheel.
I was really worried about what the fuck a spinning wheel was.
Why were you worried? Presuming
because-
you weren't assuming it was, related
No.
to putting together yarn.
Yeah, no, I thought this sounds a bit sort of kinky. I don't know.
So this exposition here about the neo transcendentalists, is he just referencing Amish people?
Probably.
It may be.
There is a kind of Amish
After the
quality.
devastation of the Third World War, we must raise barns.
Yeah.
Still a beautiful ship.
And so
It is.
soothing.
Mm.
That sound. They haven't matched those soothing sounds.
It's wide, but it's not bad.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Here's a stick.
It's a bit.
if Hogan went to sick bay to visit Pulaski, he'd
Dude,
come with a similar tray of stuff.
Where is she
Right?
supposed to apply the stick? Is that just
I got a
decoration?
few ideas.
All right, so it's a Klingon tea ceremony, so that definitely
Yeah.
qualifies for the 2 weeks medal for food and drink having in the
Yeah.
episode.
And romance.
It's getting close.
Ooh,
Romance, really?
yeah, well, we've got Patrick looking out for the more now. He'll determine if
Yeah.
Mm.
it qualifies. But yeah, would you? But like in the Pulp Fiction, would you give a man a massage? Hogan, would you
Yeah.
give me a Klingon tea ceremony?
Would you give a man a foot massage?
I'd give
Fuck
Dr.
you.
Pulaski one.
What would the Worf Pulaski power couple name be?
Oh,
Warlaski?
yeah.
Wolaski?
Wolaski.
Sounds like a Polish police officer.
It's either
Detective.
Wolaski
Damn
or
it,
Porf.
Wolaski!
Yeah, get out of here. You're out of the
You're a loose cannon, Wolaski.
Well, that's better than Porf.
She'd be like, I can help you raise the kids.
Porf.
He'd be like, that's good.
I'm kind of partial to Porf myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't Porf myself. I'm partial to Porf.
Now, see, there's a bumper sticker. I'm kind of partial to Porf myself.
Porf.
we have
Sorry,
to take
it's
light
the
of the episode already.
But hang on, look, I just want to point out, guys, if someone brings in some tea for you to have, but it's poison,
Yeah.
except if you inject yourself, except if you shoot up with some shit, that's probably not a tea ceremony you want to do every day.
It's a
I
little bit
bought you
intense.
some drugs.
I don't know what a normal tea ceremony looks like, to be honest, mate.
Ooh, pretty son.
Yeah.
Well, you usually don't have to shoot up with
There's
smack first.
Thanks, mate.
Usually.
You and your social rules.
Yeah, I said usually.
Hey, look, Troy's there.
Where?
Riker, could you please stop manspreading?
No.
No, keep it up.
Yeah, I watched Cause and Effect this week, and that was huge. Spread right in Data's face, and he does it over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. Just imagine Geordie restoring the bridge of the Enterprise, just clearing off the boot prints off the leather.
Yeah. Oh, and the butt prints off the console.
Yeah.
Elaborate for 20 years.
And the crotch prints from the Riker maneuver on the tops of the chairs.
The tops of
There's
chair,
just like
yeah.
stains from the crotch lining of the uniform.
The dyed,
sort of-
the
It
headrest.
just sort of dusts. He doesn't crop dust, he cock dusts the top of the chairs.
You're all serious. Look at these people.
Can you
These
imagine
people.
how many accidental photon torpedoes that Riker's butt must have fired off?
No, they've got that on your phone with the anti-love thing.
yeah. Anti butt dial, anti-photon torpedo firing.
Anti-arse
It
lock.
is the future, isn't it?
Oh, the anti-arse lock off with stuff in there. All right,
The
so
captain's looked- Captain Picard, he has looked particularly angry so far this episode.
guys, is the Irish planet green?
No,
It's not a
It's
not a
grass.
verdant green. It's
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's
I don't see any. I do not see any snakes though.
No, that's because they got driven out
Yeah, exactly. I don't see any
By-
snakes.
by
Oh,
some
is this
George-
after Whacking Day?
Yeah.
After what? Whacking day.
Whacking
Oh,
day.
whacking
Yes, it's
day.
when everyone porfs themselves.
Well, see, in Australia, every day is whacking day.
There he is, the greatest Starfleet officer of all time.
Yes.
In his best color as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
He must have had some troubles with this episode.
Yes,
You
you think
think?
so, wouldn't you?
No, I reckon.
Well-
I reckon Cole Meany got paid and he was happy.
Well, Cole Meany on Deep Space Nine in season 1, they wanted to do an episode with a leprechaun, and he just flat out refused. So they had to change it to Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh,
In
that
that-
one.
So much better.
In that episode, yeah. But I think apparently Cole Meany was just like, "I'm leaving if you have if you have a leprechaun on this show."
Okay,
Maybe it was because he didn't say anything here. He felt guilty.
Yeah, check out that bloke's sideburns.
They're killer sideburns.
We call them bushwhackers.
Some of the load of animals that I'm
A
going to be
duck.
looking at for the judge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so many animals. Oink.
O'Brien's done it.
Sorry, Andy, you said oink just as Picard walks out so stoically at the table. Psh, oink.
See, I've never had pigs on our farm, but I've had goats and I've had sheep, and I'm thinking I just need to go the pig to have the whole trilogy.
By have you mean possessed?
Oh yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
not in a loving way.
And yeah, again, that's not what you meant by trilogy either, right?
Oh. we almost had to bring a sheep inside the house once because it got hypothermia because it was snowing.
Oh no.
I didn't. I put it in in the hothouse or something.
This gentleman has a shady hat. You know, it's the kind of, you see this hat on a person and you get worried a little bit.
Yeah, but he's got sideburns like a machine.
Yeah.
At least
that's
they didn't
not
call
helping.
him Paddy.
Yes. Well, we haven't seen the first draft of the script. We already know the title was ridiculous. Even more ridiculous than the current title.
You don't think this is the first draft? Do you think there was worse drafts than this?
Yeah. Well, the writer strike did come up in this season, right? That's why they have the short season and the Shades of Gray.
Oh,
So
yes.
maybe the writers were already protesting, saying like, "This is what you're going to get if you don't pay us."
I just thought that they invested so much good writing into the introduction of the Borg that they had to do a couple of.
If you squint your eyes, it looks like he's wearing a Quark outfit, like a.
Ooh, good
But
squinting.
you gotta
Dennis.
you can squint your eyes a little bit. Oh, look, he's got liquor in his pocket.
He's got a hip
88
flask.
to 89.
Got a
was
flask.
Wild.
He's already trying to marry off his daughter as well.
Yeah.
Now, did you notice a few minutes ago that a child girl came
Yeah.
into the
It was a road warrior girl, a little road warrior girl,
Oh yeah.
picked up
a little
stick and
feral
all.
road warrior girl with the
Oh,
duck.
she was from SETI Alpha 5.
She scuttled out and she was all like, hey, and she
Oh.
grabbed the duck.
This is
Now, for a
SETI Alpha
moment,
5.
Imagine your Captain
This is SETI Alpha 5.
Oh, this is SETI Alpha 5, you little faggot.
Sure, you don't mind if this is SETI Alpha 5.
But Eddie Bear!
It could be SETI Alpha any fucking
Sorry
number
to
you
interrupt,
want.
guys. But imagine you're Captain Picard. You come off the turbo lift. You see a girl in civilian clothes picking up a rooster from your corridor. Can you
It was a
imagine how
duck.
pissed off you would have been? Was
It'll be
it?
fine.
I think it was a duck.
You
Maybe
think
it
that
was a
would've
rooster,
made-
but I think it was a duck. Not that. I mean, this is a little.
Could we consider
not
it for the
important.
Keiko Award? That's the most important thing. Is the duck the worst character?
No, the
It's
duck's,
not,
the
mate.
duck's pretty
It's
good.
not.
Hey, I'm doing the Picard, and I think the duck's getting votes.
Oh, there's lots of barrels there.
Oh, he's just walked out. The dude's just walked past with the duck in his under his arm like that.
Well, let's have a look.
Euphemism?
Do you think that barrel is a barrel of ale?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're bringing any other supplies.
Because he's carrying a little barrel.
Yeah.
Come
Although they
on,
must have got this straw from somewhere.
Guinness is just galactic by this point.
Is that a cow?
Yeah.
Sorry, Captain Farmer. I just don't know what a cow is.
Now, she was on another Star Trek episode, and it's been bugging me for weeks.
You're right.
You know it, Hogan?
Really good.
No, I remember. Oh gosh,
Was
Brenner.
it Deep Space Nine?
Brenner's her name, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Brenner Odell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brenner Odell.
I'm just looking her up.
Brenna Odell.
She was in. Oh, her Wikipedia doesn't say that she was.
We must consult Memory Alpha.
Hmm.
Don't
That's
you
too
just
much work.
love have you never seen a woman before? And
Oh, it's okay. She was in 4 episodes of Rumpole of the Bailey.
Now, I agree, Isaac. The line that Riker has is one of the greatest pickup lines in Star Trek. Have you never seen a woman before? I thought I had. Oh,
What I also love about it is everyone that knows Riker there doesn't blink. They're like,
Yeah.
we've heard that before. We're not surprised he's using that line again.
just watch your headrests.
Well, Riker's also from Alaska, right? And I think the ratio of men to women in Alaska is something like 12-1.
And
12
So
women,
he
7.
may not have ever seen a woman growing up.
especially the ratio of men to Irish women.
Hmm. Is there a scientific reason for that, Patrick? Why it's a male-dominated state?
I think there are a lot of oil and logging jobs, and for many
Oh.
years, they were inhospitable to women. I think that's changed, or has been changing.
Hmm.
So, Brenner Odell, played by Rosalind Landor, is actually only in this episode. The reason
Interesting.
why she's familiar is because in Shades of Grey, she's in the flashback.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
like
he's
only
British,
about 2 or
though.
3 weeks' time in the running order of TNG. That's pretty close to this episode.
So is she? So she's not Irish.
She's British.
Okay, so
It's very male gazy.
this is really weird because I've been binging The West Wing, and Jason Isaacs pops up in season 6 of The West Wing as
he's
an
great.
Irish photojournalist.
Oh, how's his Irish accent?
It's actually pretty good, although he drops back into his Liverpool accent occasionally because The West Wing's very fast talking, blah 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 blah.
Sure.
But yeah, it's actually not bad.
Check it out, ankles.
Oh, I'm checking out ankles, all right.
Oh my.
So in the Twitter sphere, we've had Jesse, Admiral Funnest, Frontier, Antipodal all say hello. They're either watching the episode or encouraging us to watch this one this week. Jesse has added, don't need to watch the foot washing scene again.
I disagree.
They're going off for some river dancing.
I liked how Riker stayed behind to help, and everyone,
Look at
everyone
those-
walked off. knowing
Look at those
he's
great
not-
little like medieval shields he has on his
yeah.
uniform or in his
Yeah, yeah.
outfit.
You mean he's
He's like
sideburns?
Captain Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just imagining what they would have done in Star Trek if this was like Australian instead of Irish.
Yeah.
No, well, I was
What's
talking
the
about that
result?
actually off air, mate. If spoiler alert, hang on, is she wearing any clothes?
She's about to be wearing less, apparently.
Apparently,
Wow.
like the Australians would have been like, "What? You want us to go over to another planet and shag everybody so they can survive?" Yep, we're there.
I'm already on the ship. Come on.
Don't tell us why. Don't bother. Just give us the
They would
address.
have needed they would have needed a fleet of ships to do the evacuation rather than just one.
I just saw Riker's horn.
Yeah, we'll see. You must be a little ahead of us, mate. He's still wearing clothes in my version.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
but
very-
they had like a yarn shortage or something. The spinning wheel broke, so they were unable to produce enough. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right.
hang on.
I forgot
That is
about
a-
this part.
That is a heavily knitted undergarment.
Riker's just
Yeah.
gone. Hang on. Are you wearing a dress under your dress?
1980s sci-fi.
Like that's overly unnecessary amount of dresses.
It's a
I don't
cold
think
ship,
it's
Commander.
We have aircon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing the Khan thing. If you
Mm,
you
it
know
works.
if you want to
Yeah.
you want to be all sexy with the woman, just take the hair clip out of her hair.
Mm.
Now I know
It
I
works
banged
with
on
the
about
woman,
this in our Khan episode, but it doesn't count. Doesn't do anything.
What,
What
just taking the
doesn't?
hair, taking the hair clip out?
Yeah, it's a wank.
Seems
Yeah,
to
I
work
think
pretty well.
it's probably just a media. It's meant to evoke the idea of like unhooking a undergarment strap or something like that. I bet.
Oh no, it's because that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
That's
It's
that's
a
fair
trope in
point.
it's a
We've all
trope
been
in
to high school.
Hollywood. It's a trope in Hollywood where you see in movies where you see the uptight woman who's got her hair done up in a bun with the glasses
Yeah.
on, and then later on you see her hair down with the glasses off, and like, oh, she's
Yeah.
actually hot, and it's just like, no,
Mm.
it doesn't. Just because that changed doesn't mean she wasn't hot
Oh,
already.
she also takes her glasses off. Don't
Yeah.
forget that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
which-
they did a great joke on that on in Arrested Development with Judy Greer's character, where it was like glasses, take the glasses off, hair down. No, now hair down, glasses on. They tried every variation and it didn't make any difference.
I think it's discriminatory against us glasses wearing folk. If I'm perfectly
Yeah.
honest with you, we
Of
are
which
beautiful with our
Of
shields
which there are many on this call right now.
oh, which is excellent. I'm all for that.
on. Multinational podcast with no depth perception. I'm down for that.
No, I'm starting a new job on Tuesday as an eye doctor.
Hmm.
I love those cups. I want to get some of those cups.
Yeah.
They're ribbed.
But you're
Get some, yeah, ribbed blood wine cups. This guy's just gonna chug it.
oh,
Comically inebriated.
terrible bit of overacting.
Yeah, it's a cartoonish.
Yeah.
This
Is that
this
a
isn't
drink?
much better.
Why
Is
did they
it a
just
drink?
put smoke coming out of his ears
Yeah.
as he did?
Yeah.
I've never come across a drink that makes you go cross-eyed.
Now, big yeah.
No, death stare.
So the daughters come in. She's incredibly.
Look at the guy
angry.
behind him.
That was a side eye.
There, okay, go. Look at the guy behind him. Look at with his silly little hat. Look at him looking at that. I love looking at the extras.
Now he looks like the lead singer from Fallout Boy.
Oh, I thought. I thought. Samwise
Now he's got
Gamgee.
his eyes closed. Yeah,
That's a bit more Ed Sheeran.
it's a little Ed Sheeran-y. He's got a goofy hat on too.
Yeah.
Well, he was in
Maybe
Game of
I
Thrones.
will
He makes-
be tending sheep till I'm 70.
So anyway, she's walked into this scene incredibly grumpy. So obviously Riker didn't perform the Riker maneuver too well. I mean, people usually have a bit of a spring in their step.
That's that's a good point.
I
Yeah.
put it down to the uniforms in season 2. Lack of blood
You
flow.
think you get
That's
off?
all I'm going to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
It took Riker about 2.5 hours to take that uniform off
Have you ever tried unzipping a uniform from the back?
from the
Come on.
back.
That's why I was a bit late on the podcast.
Every night, mate.
I pull my shoulder out taking mine off every time I finish a podcast. Come on.
Oh, look, it's Saturn.
Oh, this guy.
Meanwhile, inside an iPod.
Wilson Granger.
Mariposa, that's a butterfly in Spanish, if I recall correctly.
Now, note, guys, the LCAR screens behind Worf are covered in matte tape.
Yeah. Is that for the lighting?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Actually, I was reading an interview with Michael Lakuta not that long ago about Picard season 3.
There.
They made a mistake where, of course, these days the glass they put over the consoles are all anti-reflective glass, which meant you could see the studio lights way too well in them, so they had to actually dull them down.
Yeah.
Is Jenna going to say anything? No.
No.
She did her sentence. She's fine.
They've just beamed in.
Hang on. He took his white. He took his white cloak off.
This is a different fella.
Oh, is it?
This is the dude from the Zune, not the iPod.
Yeah.
This is the Zune. Oh, geez.
Yeah. Deep cut for you guys there.
Feel sorry for him. I think I had a Zune.
I knew a few Zooners.
No. Right. So, there's a bit of nude statue action.
Does that count?
CRT computers.
Does for me.
This actress earned her fee.
She had a funny look on her face.
Yeah.
Don't you love? She's like,
know what Riker was thinking about there, where he talked quadruplets.
Threesome.
Well, I'm sure they've already given they're hoping to get some genes here, right?
Foursome.
It would be a fivesome though, because there were four of the identical women and then Riker, so that would be a fivesome. And Riker would of course invite Worf because Riker's not rude.
The statue's got a bowling ball.
That's the very basis of their civilization.
What, bowling?
Yes, bowling.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that's fine by me.
He who rules a turkey is king of all of the iPod.
Well, the Irish have probably got a turkey they can roll.
3 strikes in a row's a turkey.
Oh, turkey's nice.
Turkey's a New World animal, isn't it? Depends
Turkey
when these
rolls.
Irish folk left.
22nd century.
Okay, they had turkeys by then.
Yeah.
They wish.
So
Clones.
Clones.
You didn't notice you saw them earlier, Riker. Why is this a surprise?
Sorry, I was too busy thinking about the fivesome I'm having later.
With the clones.
to be fair, he's allowed to be thinking about the fivesome. I think we'll allow that.
Yes.
I reckon they could
really stretching that chair's tolerance there.
Yeah.
Oh wow! They could just send Riker to the planet for three weeks and he'd sort it out.
I think in board meetings, if I was leaning back that far in a board meeting at work, I don't think I'd be invited back.
I know, right? I get told to sit up at my desk, not even in a meeting.
Oh, at my old work, I found a chair out in the tea room that was broken because it leant back too far. So I took that to my office.
It
was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So how did we stumble across this race as well?
They're also from the spaceship.
So the colonists split from the same ship. So one went to one planet and one went to the other. So one wanted the neo-transcendentalists went to one planet and then these went to another.
Right.
And one had lots of people, so they had lots of shagging, and the other had not many people.
They didn't like the concept of shagging.
Yeah. They were too busy playing with their iPods.
And their Zunes.
And their Zunes.
Yeah. Do you know what? This guy, that outfit he's wearing, he should never eat a hot dog.
I expect he doesn't.
No, because
it seems like a very boring culture that they've developed here.
You're going to spill sauce on that shit. First go.
No, I'll go with Patrick here. If he had a hot dog, it would have no sauce. It would
Yeah.
What's
plain hot dog? No sauce, no bun. He would just slide it straight down.
Oh, it would be a
No,
bun,
kidding.
but it would be a brown bun.
Yeah,
Oh, seriously.
Oh,
no
I hate
chewing
this guy
gray.
more. For his potential hot dog eating, I hate this guy even more.
Now I'm hungry. Now I want a hot dog.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's breakfast time and I want one too.
Yeah.
Hot dog is a breakfast food.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
a-
would you dress a hot dog differently for breakfast? Would you do a breakfast
Yeah.
dressing? And
There's
what
a-
would an Australian breakfast dressing amount to? A Tasmanian
Mate.
just covered in jam?
No, shut up. you idiot.
Vegemite.
There's a cafe in town near where I used to work in Hobart that does a breakfast hot dog.
Hmm. What are they?
Yeah, so-
Do they put eggs on it, or
Yep, egg and bacon plus
go.
the hot dog
I can see that being pretty tasty.
and barbecue sauce.
I am really interested in this.
Yeah.
Come over.
Yeah,
Look at the
what?
outside.
You want us to have the sex?
gee whiz. Let's ask the crew.
I think it's a very 1980s idea to have this culture that sort of finds like sex distasteful.
Yeah. I mean,
Proto
Like,
incels.
you've only got to give them a few weeks; they'll get used to it.
Yeah, you'd think they'd kind of come around to it pretty quick.
Come on, we've all been to high school.
What is this? Oh, that's what you're driving at. Okay.
He means we all went to high school, not we've all been to high school. Just want to clarify.
We all came to high school.
Hey.
I mean that we haven't been there lately, mate. It's got Anyway,
Actually, I'm
Hey,
speaking.
look,
I'm
I've got a
talking.
copy of it.
I'm talking rubbish because I went to an all boys high school.
Oh,
Hmm.
Oh, I'm getting sledged by my son out the back. Piss off, you.
I like your son. Yeah,
Yeah, he's bloody sledging me from the kitchen.
I'll tell him to come closer so we can hear it too.
Yeah.
How can you tell this is late 80s, black and grey?
Whoa.
And tall doors.
Oh, hang on. Is this Geordie for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen him yet this episode, I think.
Hmm. It's a paycheck episode for LeVar.
Do you like
Yeah.
bowling, Lieutenant?
No. That bloke looked like Eddie Murphy.
I remember watching this when I was really young, and this part fucked me up.
Oh, this and this bit in Voyager as well in Caretaker. That
Yeah.
really.
Oh yeah, no Caretaker. Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Caretaker. But see, I was a little older when Caretaker came around. Like when this came, because this, and part of it is the disconnect between this episode being so silly up to this point, and then
Yeah.
it just breaks to like, oh, we're gonna do some terrible stuff to
Don't
these
stick
people.
a great big needle in your gut.
Yeah. Alien
You want me to
abduction
have
style.
sex with this man? What does he do?
Come and
He
say hi.
sticks needles into the
and say
abdomens
hi.
of people.
Everybody, come in. Get in the picture. Get in the frame. Bend over. Get in the frame.
Oh.
Ahoy
Hello.
hoy. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God.
Jeez,
Hi,
look
mate.
at Chris.
That was great. I'm going to make a musical sting for that.
That's about as much. Well, you know, teenagers these days.
Is this the only time that Johnny can detect someone lying?
I think he can do
Yes.
it when he's playing poker.
I think it's the most acute time because normally they rely on Counselor Troy to say the person's lying when they're
Oh, I
obviously
feel-
lying.
I feel deception, Captain.
Yes.
But
That guy who's obviously lying, I can tell you for sure he's lying.
Like, but Geordie didn't win a lot of poker games, did he?
No.
But
Maybe
he
he
could
turned it
have.
off,
Yeah.
All right. So, of course, they don't want him.
But it's interesting that she said he's not missing any cells because I think it's both cool and unnerving to think that your physician would know if you lost a single cell.
Mm.
Yeah. She's like, I know what I did last summer.
That would be an awkward physical.
Yeah.
Man spread.
Hmm.
He means business.
I think the transporter does that automatically. When it reassembles
Yeah.
him, it pulls his legs further apart.
Yeah. And this is another part that fucked with me. I was like, oh my God.
My
the
God.
hell?
They're assembling the ultimate bowling team.
No.
It's a fascinating story when it comes down to it. It's just marred by the ridiculousness of the characterizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like think about this, guys. That the entire episode works if without the Irish thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Riker's just, I'm gonna just murder my clone. Let me murder some more clones over here.
I thought that was a defroster.
What are you doing? That's my Thanksgiving turkey, you moron.
This process went much quicker in The Fifth Element, so they have some
It did.
outdated technology.
Yeah.
This is like
Well-
10 years before that.
Also, I don't think Mila Jovovich is going to come out of these things.
No.
There's
Lilu Dallas multipass.
Multipass.
three Eddie Murphys.
Yeah, I was
Eddie
going to
Murphys.
say, there's a lot of Eddie Murphys.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy wanted, he was going to be in Star Trek 4, wasn't it?
I know.
Then he,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But he couldn't because of scheduling, because he's a big Star Trek fan.
Absolutely.
What would you turn down Star Trek for? It's the best movie ever.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy was going to play the whale.
Yeah.
It's
George?
Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3.
No, he was going to play the girl whale.
Gracie.
Gracie?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Looking out the window.
Hmm. Now, is Troy about to say something?
No. Fish. Fish. Today's fish is trout a la creme.
Enjoy your meal.
I will.
Oh, she is saying something. She's sticking
Just
up for me.
have the sex.
Yeah.
Seems obvious.
We call the Captain Goodwill technique.
Oh, Isaac, do you know what I realized?
Oh, was this related to your comment of have the sex?
Yes. Speaking
What
of,
did you realize?
I realized the room I've been painting is the same color as Picard's ready room.
Oh, you've gone for
Subconscious
leadership
influence.
mode?
I've gone for, Galaxy class sex dungeon. Yes.
Hmm.
So, I mean, is the room a sex dungeon?
It could be.
Which is fine. Which is, you do you.
I will show the Mariposan culture how it's done, god damn it.
I am pro sex dungeon. I'm pro sex addict and pro sex den. You know,
Well, when I realised it was a similar colour to the ready room, I ordered the lithograph of the Enterprise D.
That's fantastic.
So what I'm getting from this episode is I need to find a planet of clones.
Why?
Because I can help them out.
Ooh,
These are
how could I
it's not-
integrate that?
Not all clone societies would have this issue. Like this is just because they've run out of
Yeah.
copy and paste.
Oh,
In
yeah,
the early days, it was going fine.
they're very. It's the Habsburgs basically.
Yeah.
so that could be embarrassing then. Hey, it's
It's-
sideburns,
it's-
man.
It's,
But they
it's
don't have
the
any. They don't have
equivalent-
silly chins.
It's the equivalent of when you constantly tape over the same VHS cassette and the quality just gets worse and worse and worse.
Hmm. The biggest lie we were ever told was automatic tracking.
Oh, get in the bin
Yeah.
with that.
Actually, no, I get like impossibly rage mad when I see perfect freeze frame on old shows where they're watching a VCR.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Like
Yeah.
no such fucking thing.
Because everyone's got $30,000 worth of video
Yeah.
editing equipment in their living room to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what was fun is when you would rent a movie at the film store, like Fast Times at Ridgemont High or something.
Oh,
And at certain parts, it would get all. You could tell where it had been paused and rewound thousands of times beforehand.
there's one bit that doesn't work.
My VHS copy of First Contact was like that. After the Phoenix had launched, I would cut it off because that was my favorite part. And then when I'd watched the movie in entirety, you could hear every time I'd stop the video. So it was like, I was like, oh, this is ruined.
That was it. You went to the Phoenix launch and then you burned the rest of the movie.
Yep.
Jeez, you're harsh. All right. So Whitey Shirt Man is banging on.
Yeah.
You see, when a man and a woman.
Do
Jeez,
you know what a penis is?
No, we burnt them years ago.
We have no use for such things.
Yes, they are inefficient. How do you pee?
Anywhere we like.
Yeah, that's right. They're like horses. This is clean, sophisticated society, and they're just like horses. They piss and shit all over the place.
Just come. Oh, don't tell me about it.
They have little robots that come and slurp it up.
Our
Recycle.
bowling is amazing. However, our hygiene.
Okay.
Now, has your culture ever heard of Guinness? Prepare to be reverted 2,000 years. It's one of the greatest things I hear. One thing I love about Ireland, where they say Ireland was the most advanced culture, and then they discovered Guinness and forgot where they fucking put it.
Yeah. And I forgot where they lived.
Yeah.
That's the first time I drank Guinness. I forgot how to
Send
talk.
in the clones.
Yes.
Oh, good. That's a good line.
Like the whimsical music playing.
Now imagine the report to Starfleet. What would Picard say? We saved these two civilizations. How? We made them have sex.
Yeah.
And
We take
Starfleet
note
would be
of
like, oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Did you
Where
guys
is
see
They
this
would be
planet
into
again?
They'd be like,
Repopulation, you say?
yeah.
I like the
This is
judge
gal with a goat.
Oh, she got a little goatee.
This guy's like, I'm into the goat.
He is. Look at the look of
Look at that.
it. Get yourself someone who looks at a goat like that guy looks at a goat.
It's like, I'm rethinking this whole thing. This is not so bad after all.
He looks like he's seen. He looks like he's seen a ghost. No, ghost.
There's Ed Sheeran.
Accordion man.
Yes, accordion fella.
Spinning
Cow
wheel.
with some ingrowing horns.
Mhm. Oh, I hate having ingrown horn.
Yeah, see, look, that's probably not good.
Yeah.
Look at Picard's eyes.
Mm.
She
He's
reminds him of his mother, pre the
That's
bad
a bit-
business.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
If that's your memory of your mother, you've really got some issues.
Oh.
Season 2 of Picard.
He's
All
like,
about
look how
the
my
hand.
uniform has no collar. Look, it's so smooth. You can see my neck.
Mm.
Look at my uniform. It's really screwing up my back, but look at it.
It's got wings.
Does your culture know scoliosis?
Yes, I've had sex with him.
I thought that was Mulder's partner in the X-Files. Sorry.
Mm.
Sounds important.
They would have heard of crime.
So she's a money grubber as well.
Oh, yeah.
As well as what, Patrick?
I heard you produce iPads. It's the 24th century, for God's sakes, man.
Sure, you don't mind if I have some of that money?
Yeah. I heard you got shares in iTunes.
Oh man, that'd be worth a fortune then.
Wow. Gentlemen,
well, there you
are we all okay? We have just finished up the long letter. Are we doing all right?
I'm loving it now.
Yeah,
Doing-
fantastic.
Very well, sir.
Well, it's
Da,
important
da,
after we
da, da, da.
watch something so amazing as that we then analyze it through the Unplanned Trek segment. So we're going to begin with the Picard medal, where we award 3 of the best characters points in a ranking system it is very important that we count down at the end of the year the best characters for the year and for all time on
Yep.
our list. This week, Andrew Hogan was having a look at the 3 best characters. Who impressed you this week, Mr. Hogan?
Oh look, this was incredibly easy because there's just 3 standouts. Absolutely. And look, I'll start with 1 vote. 1 vote, 100% is going to Unnamed Pig.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like to think that that's Zephram Cochrane's pig from Babe.
Right.
I just think
That'll
that,
do, pig.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Sweet Jesus, that'll do.
Get buck, pig. Get buck. You know, that guy was amazing. So yeah, so Unnamed Pig, absolutely 1 vote. 2 votes, and this should have been obvious to everybody. Miles O'Brien. Because Well,
He's there.
because the rule is if I have the Picards and Miles is in the episode, he gets votes. That's it's a constant of the universe. And then 3 votes, which is also a constant of the universe, is my Kate, Dr. Pulaski. And I'm not going to give any reason for that because you can see no reasons because there are no reasons. What reasons do you need to be told?
Beautiful votes, mate.
Yeah.
The only one that wasn't predictable, and that was the pig. Now, I've
Well,
never
look,
said that.
I had to throw that in just to actually show that I watched the episode actually, not just read the credits.
Thanks for proving it, mate.
That's right.
Yeah, fantastic votes. Well done, mate. The good does have to be outweighed by the bad, and this week we asked Captain Goodwill to put on some negative fans, and then we also asked him to look out for the 3 most negative or problematic characters of the episode, maybe irrelevant, for the Keiko O'Brien medal. Who unimpressed you this week? And I'm nervous asking that because there's 3 people on the line, so we all qualify for votes too.
With 1 vote, it's a toss-up between Ed Sheeran and the Duck. No, yeah, I would say I forgot his name, Daddy Odell, because he was just quintessential typecast. Let me have an alcoholic Irishman on screen, please. Why did he have to be Irish? Yes.
Crossing.
Yeah. 2 votes. Worf. Strangely, he needed to brush his teeth in this episode. And he just, what did he do?
He had some tea.
Wow.
He passed out. He passed out from not eating enough.
Okay, so his whole
Which
story
is that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible to not eat enough.
So
his whole officer.
His whole arc in this episode, he forgot to have breakfast, and then he tried to seduce Dr. Pulaski with poison.
Yes, exactly.
And so that's 2. And top of the totem pole, Deanna Troy, who got the easiest paycheck this episode, because she turned up, said 2 sentences, and went home. And added nothing. When Geordie could come in and go, yeah, those dudes are lying. They've got 4 Eddie Murphys down there. We know there's only 3. Nothing's going wrong. And Troy's just sitting there going, yeah, no. Top of the totem pole, worst 3 characters, Troy is number 1.
Excellent. Isaac, presuming that you're keeping score. Daddy Odell's first name was Danilo.
Danilo.
Yes, Dan-I-L-O.
Book 'em, Danilo.
Danilo Odell.
Yeah.
It doesn't flow entirely. Danilo Odell. It's all right. Danilo Odell. Danilo Odell.
But interestingly, according to
Danny Odell.
According to Wikipedia, Odell is not O' D-E-L-L, which I think misses a stereotype.
On the subtitles on Netflix.
Do you mean
Daniello?
Daniello? Who's talking about Daniello?
It was Dan L E O, as in I-O at the end. So,
okay. There's
so
some controversy there.
It could just be UK Netflix.
Peculiar.
One of us does a podcast with a guy called Dan, right? And
I do.
Patrick, you have just gained so many nicknames that you can just chuck it down.
Yes, that's right. I'll bring those back.
Danilo, Daddy Yellow, Daddy I Yellow.
I'm sure he'll be delighted.
Dan the man I-L-O.
Yeah. Yeah, while we've got Patrick's attention, he's been on the lookout for the Morn Hub this week.
Yeah.
Awarding points to any romance or basically anything that Riker would do in an episode. So with all that, there's a lot of contenders this week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What did you find this week, Patrick?
I agree. I think there's a lot, surprisingly, a lot of contenders. But I'll focus on the top 3 that I noticed. First, of course, I think it is the most obvious, Riker and Brenna. It was somewhat in your face with her very small woolen knit top. So yeah, that one jumps out at everybody, I'm sure. Then, and Captain Goodwill was hinting at it, Worf and Pulaski. It's like, were they trying to do something here with this because I know you could say, all right, he was just being friendly. I don't know about that. He seemed to be like, yeah, she told me what to do, and I said, okay. She said I didn't eat enough. She yelled at me. So maybe they were trying something. They were always trying something with Worf. I mean, they tried something with Worf and Deanna later on. It's like they're always
Yep.
So that was another one that came out. But for me, I think the main one was the Prime Minister and the kid, the little goat, the baby goat, the Prime Minister and the baby goat. That's the one I think probably is the top of my list in terms of
That's fantastic.
budding romance.
I don't think we've given an animal a vote since we've done Star Trek 4 because George and Gracie qualified.
Yeah,
but yeah. That's fantastic. And from someone with a country with a prime minister, I'm looking forward to writing down Prime Minister and the goat on.
I'm looking forward to creating some stories about our Prime Minister and the goat.
Oh,
Creating more stories.
now that's not a slash fiction I expected to ever read.
Yeah, but I mean there was the pig incidents as well, as I recall, right? So they're in England.
Well, there's the first episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll move to the Grudge Medal, which I've got this week, and I thought I was going to have it easy, but I nearly got RSI at the start of the episode with all the animals that beamed up. So not only have we got Picard's fish, which some people call Livingston, but it actually hasn't confirmed in an episode that that's his name. I think it might be in novels or just rumor, but we just call it Picard's fish. But we had a goat, a sheep, a pig, a chicken, a duck, and a cow.
And a chicken cow. The chicken cow. All right, Wesley Willis reference that very few people will get.
No, but it's cool. You do you.
But Isaac gets it.
I was just thinking cow and chicken.
The chicken cow. Everyone should look up the Chicken Cow song by Wesley Willis. And then look up every other song by Wesley Willis. You will not be disappointed.
I don't know if I'm going to look that up. I'm not sure.
And then when you don't watch Cow and Chicken from Nickelodeon.
Yes, a slightly different vibe with the cow and chicken.
Now, with these animals, I was on the lookout to see if any of them were in the Morn Hub as well, but I didn't really see anyone getting it on in the sense that we're looking for. So these were all strong, independent animals.
That Prime Minister, though.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
They're probably married now.
I was also on the lookout this week for the Wolf Medal. So the Wolf Medal we name after any fighting we saw in the episode. And there was a little bit. Yeah, we saw the clones fighting the Irish. That was more philosophically than anything else. But they were fighting around a board table about the future of their planets and how they would do things together, as it were. We had Riker. He was fighting the principles of the clones. He wasn't. We saw the way he stood when he came off the transporter. He wasn't happy.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had an actual fight with the clones fighting Riker, Geordi, and Pulaski.
Yeah.
Not very funny. Sorry.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was sort of the internal laughter, where you're like,
I'll put a laugh track on. I'm sure
I was watching the cricket. Sorry.
Yeah. What's the score, mate?
Australia none for 13 after 2 overs.
It's a decent start, Patrick.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yes,
because
because I'm so familiar with the obscure scoring system. I guess it's not that obscure. It's obscure in my locality. Although a lot of people play cricket around here. Actually, we have high school cricket teams now. It's getting more popular.
Go you.
Yeah.
The last medal we're on the lookout for was the Tuvix medal. And Patrick, did you see anyone die this week?
2 clones. We saw 2 clones get murdered, and I think that they deserve. They could at least be under consideration for the Tuvix medal. I think.
Absolutely. Yep. They were. Yeah.
A lot of people's dignity died.
That's right.
Hogan's dignity.
No, I never had any.
Oh. I think we'll just give it to the clones, but no, that's great. Yeah. Now, this episode, well, I think we talked about might have even been the first draft of Up the Long Ladder. They obviously needed a couple of rewrites, which didn't happen. But Hogan, as a acclaimed writer by at least me, could have made this episode better by including a source of separation. Hogan, have you given it any thought this week of how
Look,
this episode
I've
could
been
improve?
giving it thought since last night, and it's a bit of a tough one, but I think there is an issue, like having, living on a rural property and having had animals and things. You don't really, I can say, you don't invite the animals into your living space. That can be problematic because they poo everywhere and sometimes they smell bad. So I think the first thing that should have happened at the start of the episode was that they convert the entire saucer section into an Irish farm and put all the animals and the Irish dudes on that and just separate it off so they can live there and be happy for a while. And everybody else goes down to the Battle Bridge and goes to the other planet of the clones and does all that sort of stuff. I think that would have been, and it seems to me a very sensible idea.
That is incredible because most of the saucer section of the Enterprise D is vacant. You could have a lot of animals. That could be an entire zoo.
Yeah,
on the Enterprise D.
I agree. I think it's a great idea. I do have one question. What differentiates an Irish farm, as you put it, from other forms of farm? Can you imagine what? Because you said it has to be an Irish farm that they create.
Oh well, on an Irish farm, more people are drunk.
And they wear heavily knitted sweaters.
Yeah, very
heavily.
Not very
heavily knitted, but too short.
Yeah,
heavily knitted boob tubes.
Now that would sell.
Yeah. Just bought the website, guys. Heavily knitted.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Unplanned boob tubes.
Oh no, they're always planned, mate.
Yeah, that's right. Heavy knitting, mate. Heavy knitting. Yeah. Well, we've done a good job of keeping people entertained for this podcast, but I know that there's another special guest that wants to come on and give his 2, maybe 5 cents worth.
Oh, excellent.
About this episode, maybe about our performance. Is Shin's on there, Andrew?
Oh, look, it's early in the morning. I'll see if I can wake him up. Hey, mate.
Yeah, what the fuck do you want, dickhead?
God, can't. Jesus, typical. Okay. Right.
Fucking hello, Shin's on here. Oh, geez, it's 4 you nutsacks. God, what are you doing? What's your Star Trek? Guess what? I was on Star Trek. Yeah. Were you on Star Trek, dickhead? No. Were you on Star Trek? No. What about you with the bloody glasses on? Oh, you've all got fucking glasses on. Anyway, I'm watching the cricket. Fuck off, bye. Jeez. Shin's on.
That's early morning Shin's on. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like mornings.
Yeah, he's grumpy.
No, he's got his grumpy pants on, which is better than most mornings where he has no pants on.
You should get him a breakfast hot dog ASAP.
Yeah.
He fucking wouldn't get me a breakfast hot dog because he's a fucking lazy bastard.
Please.
In America, the breakfast hot dog would have the bacon, but it would then be deep fried, and then they'd give you like a little tub of maple syrup to dunk it in.
Oh, I just thought in some countries a breakfast hot dog is completely a euphemism.
Yes, but there still can be syrup involved.
There will be eventually.
In Scotland, they just deep fry a pig and just
the entire pig.
Yeah.
And not necessarily for meal times, just as for fun.
Festival.
You just walk by, you just grab a chunk off as needed.
It's a Tuesday, you know.
Guys, I'm getting excited by this.
You know, I put breakfast hot dog down as a grudge medal.
I just wonder how long until that pig that I gave votes to actually just simply became a breakfast hot dog.
Yeah. You got to wonder. Yeah. Was it the next day or was it a few years later? Good question.
Well, you've got to fatten it up.
Yeah, well, you ought to. You never know how it works in Hollywood, where they're like, this pig's he's no good to us anymore. We need bacon props.
I want a Lower Decks episode where they make second contact with this newly merged civilization of hybrid human goat people just thriving on this planet.
That's right. It's got to be the human goat, some sort of like Greek mythological looking thing. That would
The
be
episode
great. That's a
title,
fantastic idea.
the episode title would be "The Kids Are All Right."
Yeah. Down the short ladder.
A long way down.
Yeah.
Well, this was terrific fun. I really appreciate everyone jumping on today. Patrick and Captain Goodwill, would you guys like to give a bit of a shout out and plug to your respective podcasts? Meaning your own. You don't have to shout out each other's podcast. But Patrick, what's happening in It's Got Star Trek Land at the moment?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's got Star Trek. We're a podcast. We're silly. You can find us at all the podcast stuff. We just recorded our conversation yesterday for Imaginary Friend, the 5th season episode of TNG. Another episode where, although Troy was in it more, she was also somewhat ineffective. And I'm a fan of Troy. I like Troy, but it's one of those episodes where you get sort of annoyed at her, how she's approaching the situation. So that comes out on Monday. That episode, and we invite people to come look at it. We might have to come and talk about this episode though too. I was reminded how this is a fun episode to chat about. So thanks again for inviting me.
No
Well,
problem at all.
guys, here he comes.
Hey, I'm gonna fucking watch that episode because she's my girlfriend. You know, she's fantastic. I love her. She's my fucking girlfriend. Have you met me dad? My dad's fucking great. He's got a bloody good haircut like me. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, fuck off, bye.
I love how
Yeah,
he has no father issues, despite really should have had him. Oh, should have had him. Yeah, I meant what I said.
he loves his dad.
He loves his
But the
dad.
problem is, anytime you mention any crew of the Enterprise, he just goes a bit silly.
Yeah, yeah. And Captain, you guys have just watched Star Trek 1, the motion picture.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, we did our first movie review of the year. We are reviewing a Star Trek movie every month until we have none left. So we started off with the motion picture. We watched the 4K Ultra HD Director's Edition of Star Trek the Motion Picture, and it only improved it slightly. It was a lot of fun though to go through. Huge trip down memory lane. I haven't seen the movies for a couple of years because life's got in the way, and just being back on that gorgeous ship. If anything, if it was just 2 hours of the pod going round this ship, it would have been the greatest movie hands down. So we reviewed the motion picture. Next week, our
That was how long it went for.
Sorry?
I thought that scene went for 2 hours.
It should have gone for 2 hours more. I want to see every single Aztecing deck plate.
Yes.
Next week, the Darbo Wheel randomly selected the original series episode by any other name. I wanted an Enterprise episode, but no, apparently the Darbo Whale just loves the original series because this is our third one in a month. And I'm like, dude, we need to start rigging this thing. I just need something different now. But that is this Friday, this upcoming Friday at, I don't even know what the date is. Every Friday, 7:30 p.m. GMT, come to the Nerdy Up North YouTube channel. We are live. We drink martinis and we just share our love of Star Trek with anyone who will listen.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Thank you very much. If our listeners haven't come across either podcast before, highly recommend. There's a lot of fun out there, and it's been fun playing with you guys today and watching a really dumb episode. And having a lot of fun talking about it with you guys. So thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.